To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's going on? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for Blood Massacre. Written and directed by Jonjo, Blood Massacre stars all of these lot. A group of deranged Vietnam vets start a robbery and murder spree at a local store, and breaking into an isolated house, they take a family hostage. As they terrorize the captive family, they don't realize they are soon in for a surprise. How's it going, my deliciously deranged crew of corpse consumers? It's that time again. Time to check out something similar to what we've covered before, but also somehow completely different. Blood Massacre. Blood Massacre is directed by Jonjo, a name I've heard many times before on various movie review shows but never bothered to actually look into. Then I found a movie titled Blood Massacre and knew I had to check it out. I didn't even know it was one of his movies until I looked at the IMDb. Jonjo is a cult movie director who didn't make a ton of films, but the ones he did make certainly made a splash, with there even being a documentary on the man called Blood, Boobs and Beast, which I watched this morning and highly recommend you check out when you can. Blood Massacre is a strange film in that it might have even been a classic had it not been for financier meddling. From what I saw in the documentary, Jonjo actually shot the first 15 minutes of the film on video and sent it to the financiers to look over when they suggested that he reshoot the whole thing on film. Then, prior to putting the finishing touches on the film, the financiers wanted to see it again, so he sent the work print and they just kept it. He didn't actually get the film back in his hands until 4 years later and saw what they'd done to it, re-editing the film and reusing shots that Don never had a chance to actually finish. This is what led to some of the poor quality and weird editing choices. I say some of because there's certain shots in this movie that were definitely Don's fault. Anyway, aside from the poor quality, what we've got here is guns, gore, a soapy tum-tum, and an ending twist you will never see coming. What more could you ask for? To be free of the crushing depression you silently battle every single moment of every day, hiding it behind a smile and jokes? Grow up. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. That's it. Want to see the uncut videos, gain access to the Discord, and see all the Patreon exclusive reviews that can't be on YouTube anymore? Go over there now. Also, as you may know, my short film Better Anything has been completed. We do still have like 1 or 2 minor touches to do with the sound, but other than that, it's done. If you want to support the film getting into film festivals, all of which can get really expensive, then please check out the Indiegogo and claim some of those perks, which are still available now. They're going to be going out in early 2026. But anyway, I'm in the mood to go through 4 different genres in one movie, so let's not waste any more time. Get ready to witness the most surprising ending in horror movie history. This is Blood Massacre. The movie begins in this happening spot as this fella, Rizzo, buys a drink and watches a silhouette dance for a bit. He then takes a seat when he's approached by this woman who tries to strike up a conversation.
Where are you from?
Where they don't ask any questions.
The men's bathroom in my dad's local gym. The server comes over and asks Rizzo who his friend is, but he says he doesn't have any. He then pays $3.50 for their drinks, which is outrageous, before telling the woman she's worth every penny. Rizzo then stares off into the distance for a bit when the server suddenly takes his drink out of nowhere. Rizzo quite rightly calls her a prompting this bouncer to turn up and throw him out. The bouncer gives him a couple of digs, then chucks him on the floor when we cut to some time later as the bouncer gets in his car. Rule number 1, always check the back seat. Haven't you even seen Urban Legend? That's a good movie. Rizzo then runs back to the bar and shocks the woman with a knifey surprise. She tries to fight back, but unfortunately that doesn't last long. 2 down and hopefully a hell of a lot more to go. Cut to the title card and then to the opening credits with this banger. Cut to the next morning as Rizzo meets this fella Paulie and tells him the bar is shut down permanently. This woman, Monica, then asks where he's been all night but gets a frosty response.
Oh, you.
We then cut to this woman, Bonnie, going for a drive when she stops to take a look at a map. She takes off again, stopping by this lovely lady, Chrissy. It seems Bonnie is answering an ad about a spare room they have.
Mom! Someone here about the room.
And I'm sure she's gonna be just fine. The creepy guy then says hi, blaming the blood on his shirt on the hogs as we find out he's Chrissy's father. We also find out Bonnie is an art student and Dad offers to be her model when he says he has to get back to the hogs. Cut to Rizzo and the gang when they're joined by Jimmy. He's been out scouting joints for them to rob, finding a savings and loans place. Monica says it's too risky and Rizzo gives her when Jimmy tells Paulie to separate the two. Rizzo then tells Jimmy those two are doing his head in and how Paulie reminds him of one of their fellow soldiers in Vietnam who got himself killed.
And that was Nam. That was different. Death was in season. We lived a lifetime every hour, every day. God, I miss it.
Rizzo, he's gonna be a problem, isn't he? Cut to Chrissy and Bonnie heading to the pool, then to Papa cutting up more meat. He spots the girls and smiles as they sit down to relax. Chrissy then asks Bonnie if her parents know where she's staying.
Folks know where you're staying.
No. I just told him I was heading south. Frankly, I don't want him to know.
Smart. That'll make it easier to get killed and not cause a fuss. Good girl. Cut to Rizzo's crew getting out of the car scouting their next job. Monica and Paulie think it's too out in the open, but Rizzo is eager to get some work done.
I don't give a shit. Let's just do something.
He rolls up to the video store and is followed by the lads as Monica gets in the driver's seat. Inside we see lots of people and families browsing the movies as the crooks look around. And if you look closely, you might be able to spot some of Don Dola's previous films on the racks. You'll have to look really closely though. Jesus Christ, the quality. Monica then pulls up outside as the kids leave. And that's when they make their move! To be honest, it all seems to be going pretty well until one of the clerks decides to be a hero. Whoops! And she f***s up the poster, dumbass! The crooks then take off as we cut to sometime later with the cops on the scene. They're told one of the baddies had a switchblade and with that information are able to deduce it's the same guy who murdered the people the night before. Cut to the crew as they run out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Because the video store owner shot the gas tank. In case you needed that explaining. Monica and Paulie then go to hike back up to the gas station they saw when this car pulls up. Instead of just asking for a ride, they take the driver hostage as we cut to Rizzo and Jimmy counting their money. Turns out they only got $720 and the pair argue when we get some backstory.
You saved my life in Nam, Rizzo.
He said I was nuts. Your uncle said I was nuts.
And he was right, you loopy liability. A car then pulls up behind them and we see it's Monica. The lads jump out and Rizzo is of course ready to kill the innocent woman, but Jimmy convinces him to take her as a hostage instead. In the car, Jimmy asks her name and she says Elizabeth Parker. Jimmy says they'll be going to her house, so she starts giving directions as we cut to this. Nice. Back with the crooks, they arrive at the house when we realise Liz is Chrissy's sister and part of the family. Rizzo then threatens Liz, telling her not to try anything stupid or she'll get cut, which she seems to oddly enjoy. They approach the house as inside Pops answers the door, allowing the crooks to enter.
You're home from school. Hey, what is it? Shut up, Pops.
Rizzo, go check, see where the music's coming from.
It's just my daughter, Chrissy.
Daddy!
Rizzo then takes a good old look at Chrissy before bringing her to the group. Jimmy sends Paulie upstairs to find Mum as Rizzo deals with the non-cooperative Chrissy.
Get in there.
Paulie then grabs Mum as Rizzo takes a walk outside and sits for a smoke. He then gets his knife out as Liz tells her mother she thinks these lot are bank robbers and Monica asks for food. Paulie follows Mum to the cellar as we cut to Rizzo investigating Pop's death shed. Mum and Paulie quickly come back out with jars and she heads to the kitchen, nearly grabbing a knife but thinking better of it. Paulie then moves the car as Rizzo finds Pop's chopper. He then leaves and rejoins the crew, telling them everything's fine.
This stuff looks disgusting.
Young lady, I'll have you know this is an old family recipe.
Oh, really? Well, you should have buried it with the old family.
Enough with the attitude, Monica. It's not like your company was f***ing expected. To be honest, you've been running your mouth since the beginning of the film. I'd f***ing wind it in if I was you. In the living room, Pops tries to mouth off but gets threatened by Rizzo. Liz jumps in front of the blade and everyone shouts at Rizzo to stop before kicking him out. And that's when, finally, having had enough of Rizzo's bullshit, Paulie decides to jump the nutter. Which Liz seems to love. I'm getting weird vibes from Liz. Weird, penis-hardening vibes.
True, cut the shit. Get over here.
Cut to Chrissy waking up and being comforted by Mother. She tells Monica she's gonna go and change and Jimmy brings everyone back inside. Monica then goes to check on Paulie, finding him getting close with Liz.
Hey, it's okay.
No, really. I appreciate you defending me.
Gee, Paulie, you're a real hero. Why don't you come outside so I can keep an eye on you, huh?
In the kitchen, Liz says she needs to have a shower, so Rizzo takes her up. Cut to Rizzo spying on Liz as she gets undressed and jumps in. She then soaps her tummy up something fierce as Rizzo enjoys the show. And yes, a very tastefully shot shower scene there. At least we get to see the soapy tum-tum. Cut to the cop getting out of his car, I think. And then to Rizzo watching Liz get dressed. He tries to get her back downstairs when she tells him to stay and things get saucy.
You bit me.
I know.
Uh-oh. I'd be careful with the biter, Rizzo. They start kissing on the bed as back with the cop he asks a passerby if he's seen the crooks. The man says he hopes the Parker family are alright and the cop says he'll check on them, getting directions to the main event.
You go back down this here road about 2 miles till you come to a place where 4 roads meet. Uh-huh. But be sure you just take one of them.
Cut to Liz and Rizzo as she picks up his knife and cuts herself so the Riz man can lick up the blood. Oh my. The cop then pulls up as Mum calls Liz down for dinner.
Elizabeth, come down and eat. Your dinner's getting cold.
Boo! I demand more blood play! The gang asks Rizzo what the f he's been up to when there's a knock at the door and Jimmy takes Pops to answer. Outside, Pops talks to the cop finding out about the deaths in town. He lies saying there's no one inside but his family, and at that the cop just accepts it and leaves. This causes Jimmy to panic, saying they gotta get out of there, and gets the family to sit while the rest of them load up on valuables. They leave Monica to keep an eye on the family as outside Rizzo says they've gotta kill them all, which of course Paulie is a little about. And that's when they make a discovery.
Holy shit. My God. Jesus.
Who's this?
What is it, Jimmy? This guy's a psychiatrist from a hospital in Crofton.
What? Seems our little Elizabeth is a nutcase, a psycho. She killed people.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
That little is a killer.
I didn't know she had it in her.
God. She seemed as normal as the rest of the family.
I think she just might be, mate. See, Rizzo, it's not so bad she didn't suck you off. The group run back inside to find a family and Monica missing as we cut to the cop investigating fog. Cut to Jimmy and Paulie hearing some muffled screams, but when they open the closet, they find Bonnie, who, to be honest with you, I completely forgot about. She tells them the family is crazy and takes off running with the men giving chase. Rizzo joins them and they hear the car outside start, but when they go after her, Jimmy catches a bullet from Pops. They fire back and the cop hears the shots when Rizzo gets all numb excited.
We're back in battle, Jimmy. Just like Nam.
Paulie runs off to get Pops and Jimmy tells Rizzo to go after him as he tries to find Monica but instead finds Chrissy. She tells Jimmy the family are crazy cannibals but she's not like them, which Rizzo doesn't believe. Chrissy tells them where the car is, so Jimmy sends the boys to go get it, saying he trusts the obviously evil blonde. Not because she's blonde, because she lives with a group of cannibals and is a woman. They then bugger off and Jimmy immediately starts making out with Chrissy, which is nice. She says she'll be right back as we cut to the cop telling Pops to drop the gun.
Drop the gun. Drop it. Now turn around slowly with your hands in the air.
You should have left, officer, while you had the chance.
Are you all right, dear?
All right, no problem.
We'll take care of him, Daddy.
Then the ladies absolutely massacre the cop. Special shout outs to the random red woods light that allowed me to see at least some of what was going on there. Appreciate you, bud. Cut back to Jimmy waiting for Chrissy as she creeps up behind him and cuts his head off! Oh shit! And it landed in the bucket too! That's a trick shot bonus for Chrissy! Cut to Liz chasing Bonnie, who I thought took the car when she stumbles on whatever the is going on in here. And then gets the Buffy treatment. Liz pops her head into the gore basement to find Dad chowing down on Monica's arm. He offers Liz some, but she says she prefers men, which I thought was moderately funny.
I know, I remember. Your favorite dish is your mother's meatball.
I believe that was a testicles joke, which is not funny. Not funny at all. Cut to Paulie and Rizzo finding the car locked and realising they left the keys with Jimmy. Rizzo goes back to get them, leaving Paulie to get stabbed to death by Mother off screen. The Riz Master then finds Jimmy's head and gets chased by Liz before taking a spill. Liz then just gives up the chase, I guess, and we get one of my favourite cuts of the entire movie. Where the f*** did all the light go? He then heads into the death shed and starts picking up weapons ready to go to war with the family. He goes into the woods, empties his bag and makes himself some weapons. Cut to morning and an Evil Dead camera as Rizzo has a nightmare recapping us on everything we've already seen. He then wakes up and starts making traps for the fam. And this goes on for a while as we watch every single f***ing step. Looks like we needed just a tiny bit of filler to get this bad boy to feature length. Cut to Rizzo skipping through the woods and then to him placing the traps, which we again watch in great detail. He then tests his homemade mine, which seems dumb considering he's only got like 2. He also tests his saw blade gun thing, which seems to work well when we cut to night as he returns to the house. Rizzo then immediately bumps into Pops and guns him down. To be fair, that thing is pretty sick for being homemade. Cut to Rizzo planting a mine and just sitting in the bushes hoping someone comes out. Luckily for him, Liz comes searching for Rizzo and steps right into his trap. And that, my friends, is the end of Liz. Or is it? Liz starts strangling Rizzo, so he stabs the shit out of her, finally ending the girl's life for good. Oh, for f***'s sake, Liz, take the hint! It's then we see Dad is also still alive, and realizing these people don't die too good, Rizzo takes off running. We get the only cool shot of the movie when Rizzo is ensnared by a trap and joined by Liz and Pops. Rizzo begs them to let him go, and Liz says she will if he promises to stay with her for the rest of his life. Liz brings up the fact that Rizzo tried to kill her, but he says they have something special. And this is where we get the most batshit reveal of all. The main reason I wanted to cover this movie in the first place. We find out the family are actually aliens! Or zombies? I don't know. They're all f***ed up. Anyway, then Rizzo gets himself murdered all the way to death. Absolutely brutal. R.I.P. Rizzo. Cut to the next day as we hear on the radio the county fair is about to start and the Parker family will be serving their famous stew. We see the family getting ready, then get another shot of the house as someone drives past. Cut to even more shots of the family as this girl knocks at the door.
Hi. Hi. I'm here about the room for rent.
The end! Well, I actually really enjoyed that. Sure, it might have the worst picture quality of any film I've ever seen, but I had a bloody good time. Blood Massacre is a surprisingly fun slasher movie that not only delivers on gore, but also manages to blend 4 separate genres, like Dusk Till Dawn, but twice. It was something I expected to hate, but had a genuinely great time with, and now I can't wait to see everything Don Dola has ever made. The story is simple enough, with a group of Vietnam War vets going on a robbery spree, running afoul of a family of cannibals, the main character then becoming Rambo for 15 minutes, and then eventually aliens. See? Simple. I loved how this movie continued to change throughout, keeping me on my toes and also shifting your sympathy back and forth between the two opposing groups of characters. Who knew after that first scene I'd end the film sad that Rizzo got opened up? Onto the characters, and we've got a lot going on here, so I'll just focus on my two favourites. Rizzo, played by George Stover, is such an interesting character in that he's clearly affected by the war to the point of being a bit of a psycho in the real world, but also cares deeply for his fellow soldiers. His actions in the opening scene are of course appalling, as is the way he treats almost every other character in the film, especially Monica, but when wartime hits, he steps up to deal with the matter, which I love. He would have also been the hero had the people he was fighting not been up zombie alien things. And that brings us to Liz, played by Robin London. I think she's excellent in this part and is sort of channeling Sherry Moon Zombie in her performance, just not as annoying. It's a shame this seems to be the only movie she ever starred in, as I think she could have gone on to become a very successful scream queen, if only in this B-movie world of Don Dola. Other than those two, everyone is doing their best and no one sticks out as being 100% terrible. Again, I was pleasantly surprised. Next is the gore, and we got some great stuff here when we can properly see it. The cop massacre, the beheading, and Liz and Pop's final looks were all nastier than I expected. It's a shame we don't get to see what happened to Monica apart from her arm, and Paulie does get a bit of a ending, but for the most part, the film delivers the red stuff. I don't know why, but for a film called Blood Massacre, I thought it was gonna be kind of bloodless. Production-wise, the film is pretty rough. The image quality is terrible due to it being a direct transfer from the work print, and you can see certain shots are repeated for stuff Don didn't have a chance to shoot. I briefly mentioned it earlier, but if you want to know more, you can find out in the documentary Blood, Boobs and Beasts, which I highly recommend. Another thing that stuck out to me was how loud some of the sound effects were compared to everything else. It's pretty funny. So yeah, it's not great, but they definitely did their best with the situation they found themselves in. Also in the documentary, Don does briefly mention he was working on restoring this film, but unfortunately he died of cancer in 2006, so that ain't gonna happen. In the end, Blood Massacre is a lot better than I expected it to be. It's a pretty original, low-budget slasher with a nice amount of gore and charm. If you can get past the low-quality visuals, I think you'll enjoy Rizzo's war against cannibals. And if not, well then, you can eat some of Mama's famous meatballs. So that was my review of Blood Massacre. What do you lot think? If I could give it one negative, it'd be Jimmy getting got. Poor Jimmy. I know he was an armed robber and all, but it's not like he wanted to kill anyone. At least he got to kiss the hot blonde before his head got chopped off. And it landed in the bucket too, which was a sick shot. Speaking of which, if you want to see Liz and Pops rip their heads open, revealing their true faces completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/JonjoLyons. There you can find the uncut version of this review, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, / comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that could be yours for as little as $3 a month. You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need the money to send my short film Better Anything to every film festival around the world. As I said before, that can get super expensive, so anything you can do to help us out would be massively appreciated. So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and in an effort to lose weight, I'm going to start working out in Chrissy's leotard. Just pull my balls out one side and my out the other. You wouldn't believe the stench. That's right, ladies. This fella's taken. See you next time.